Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2C TV, your global news channel. We have some breaking news coming from the Middle East with the conflict between Israel and the Islamic occupation of Iran. The Iranian regime army are nowhere to be seen. They have abandoned their positions, especially in Tehran. The Israelis have now have full control of the capital. There is a lot happening, and President Trump, as we speak, is in the Situation Room. Of course, they have been having a meeting in regards to making a move against the Iranian regime. President Trump has also now ordered the full surrender of the Islamic Republic, saying, I gave you a chance, you didn't make a deal. Now you effed around, you will find out. There's a lot happening in this live report, and we are very, very, very close to 1 million subscribers. Thank you so much, everybody. If you enjoy the channel, of course, and if you want to support us and get more out of it, make sure to download the 2CTV app today, and of course become a member. And the moment we get to 1 million, I'm going to give you guys a present as well. So stay tuned. All right, let's talk about what's going on. First video coming from Iran in Tabriz. The Amman barracks, the army barracks, has now been destroyed. Let's quickly go to the first video. Yes, more bases are being destroyed as we speak. It's not really just about the capital in Tehran, but across the country in general as well. We've had issues in Mashhad in the northeast, Tabriz in the northwest, in Shiraz towards the south, and it's now escalating. The IRGC's main TV building, of course, yesterday we reported live actually as it was happening when the TV station was hit. Now the main IRGC media broadcasting building has also been destroyed over the last couple of hours. Watch. Now, it is also important to be objective and mention that despite the fact that they don't have any control inside the country, the IRGC, for example, in major cities like Tehran, they still have their IRGC terrorists in the outskirts of cities, and especially towards the Iraqi border. They are the ones who are still, as we speak, trying to launch more missiles towards Israel. Of course, the Iron Dome is activated and everybody is on standby. We are hearing a huge fire and explosion again in Haifa in Israel as well. This is their final attempt, because last night, the Iranian regime promised that they are going to be doing a non-stop attack yesterday, all night until Israel is wiped out. But they managed to launch about 10 missiles, and then another 3 missiles and another 10 missiles. Not all of them were ballistic missiles, some of them were cruise missiles. But they are continuing to launch drones and everything else. These are the things that they have left. There's not much, well, there's a lot of speculations that the Iranian regime don't have much left anymore. But let's talk about the president. He has demanded the complete surrender and for the Iranian regime to give up. The Israelis are hunting down Ali Khamenei, who is believed to be in a bunker in the northern parts of the capital, just outside the capital. President Trump said, I have not reached out to Iran for peace talks in any way, shape or form. This was because of all the fake briefings. So in the Trump administration, there are a number of people in the White House or close to the White House who wanted to basically brief the media differently, saying, no, your president is just leaving Canada, is going back to Washington, he's doing peace talks with Iran. He said, I'm not doing any of that. This is just more highly fabricated fake news. If they want to talk, they know how to reach me. They should have taken the deal that was on the table. It would have saved a lot of lives. Of course, it's too late now, the American president is saying. Also, he's saying it's nothing to do with Israel's mission. We have our own mission because the Iranian regime poses a threat against the United States. So President Trump doesn't want to come across as he's assisting Israel or is following Israel. He wants to say that, well, we have our own problems with the Iranian regime. That's why we were doing the negotiations when it came to nuclear. There are some updates also coming in. The Iranian there's a state media, a few of them left, obviously, this is the IRIB agency, said that sources claim that WhatsApp is collecting user data, including location and communication tags, and sharing it with Israeli intelligence. Users are urged to delete WhatsApp from their phones. They are panicking, ladies and gentlemen. WhatsApp is now the new Pagergate, like what happened in Lebanon with Hezbollah. They are terrified of WhatsApp. Anyway, having said that, more videos are coming. The Israelis are apparently now going to be targeting the infrastructure, including oil. We just got the confirmation from the Tehran oil refinery, which is in Shahray. It's kind of about 15 kilometers towards the south of the central part of Tehran. That is currently on fire, ladies and gentlemen, and the Iranian regime said that's a red line. They've had many red lines so far. Yes, another one bites the dust. There is also, we are expecting more videos coming from the capital. Actually, we've just received the next video. The multiple IRGC and regime locations are being destroyed. Many people have already evacuated Tehran, as you already know, as we've been reporting. I'm going to show you a photo of a very specific street in the capital. Now, you got to laugh, but the name of this street in Tehran is literally the Taliban Street. Not even joking. And the Taliban Street, for the first time in history, well, in the history of this fake street, I'm going to put it on the screen for you guys. There we go. It's currently empty. It's like lockdown all over again. Everybody's left, and even the actual military bases are empty, which is absolutely fascinating. It is literally like lockdown now, 2020. But while that's happening, the rest of the bases are now being destroyed. We do have that next video coming from the capital. As you can see, even compared to yesterday and the day before, anytime you see a video from Tehran, when you saw some sort of cloud explosion or whatever, there were a lot of people filming it. It's getting very, very quiet. As I said, the military are no longer to be seen. The Iran's stock market remains closed until at least Sunday. I'm not really sure why they're even bothering at this point. Just keep it closed. You don't even have to say Sunday. Just stay permanently until the regime changes. Let's go to the next clip. Yes, over the next few minutes, more infrastructure sites will also be hit. The IDF are now focusing on both obviously the nuclear sites, but as well as the oil and gas and the IRGC buildings. Many countries are now evacuating their civilians and their diplomats. China, yes, China has now urgently started the evacuation process. This is the Chinese embassy staff in Tehran. We've just got this this image of them leaving. They're getting on the bus and on the coach, and they are now going towards the east. So the same thing is happening with Pakistan and a number of others who are also evacuating their embassies in Tehran. Now, the Israeli Defense Forces have now confirmed, ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know, the IRGC leadership were wiped out on the first night, and that was about 4 days ago. The next couple of days, the Supreme Leader ordered some sort of replacement, saying just replace him with anybody at this point. He's been struggling to adapt with that change, but they did find some new people to become new leaders. Unfortunately, the IDF, unfortunately for the Iranian regime, the IDF now confirms that Major General Ali Shadmani, who was just appointed a couple of days ago as the chief of the IRGC, has now been eliminated. He's also been taken out by the Israelis. He was only in the role for about 2 days. I'm not really sure if he even had the time to sign his pension plan. I don't think he's going to get his pension anymore because I don't think he needs his pension anymore. But Israel Katz, the defense minister from Israel, has also released a statement about the situation, saying, "I warn the Iranian dictator against continuing to commit war crimes and firing missiles at Israeli civilians. He should remember what happened to the dictator in the country neighboring Iran, who went down this path against the state of Israel." That was Saddam Hussein, of course, as you remember. They had to drag him out of a hole. "We will continue today to act against the regime targets and military targets in Tehran, as we did yesterday against the Propaganda and Incitement Broadcasting Authority." That's the state TV. "I call on the residents of Tehran to evacuate from those places in accordance with the instructions of the IDF spokesperson in Persian for their protection." Of course, this is the whole point. The IDF invested a lot of time and money to ensure that they have the IDF Persian unit, and obviously the spokesperson as well, which I did have a conversation with when I was in Israel, and to make it easier to communicate things from the IDF to the Iranian people in Persian directly. And that's the best way for them to keep the Iranian people up to date on the ground on what the Israeli Defense Forces are doing. Now, there's more chaos across the country, as obviously the banks have collapsed. And the Iranian regime initially claimed that there was a cyber attack on the banks because bank services cannot be accessed. The card readers are not working. Cash machines and ATMs not working, and all the bank offices are closed. People are panicking because they wanted to take money out. Of course, that was the whole point of closing the banks, because if everybody withdraws cash, banks never have enough cash. Because money is fake money, it's fiat currency. So let's quickly go to the video we have from Iran. People who are trying to use the cash machines. Yeah, saying all the ATMs in the area are no longer working, and obviously people don't know exactly what to do at this point. There's more reaction coming as well. The Americans are making a move, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, 17 American military tanker aircraft are now flying over Europe towards the Middle East. More of them, obviously, since last night. This is in addition to what the president ordered about 12 hours ago, when the Americans started to make their move towards the Middle East to support the US bases, of course, and everybody else. So the USAF refueling tankers are now heading as well. More tankers, I think, refueling tankers are going towards the region. This, of course, indicates that the potential US operation alongside the Israeli operation is going to be primarily up in the air. So it's going to be by the US Air Force, because they need their refuelers to be there. They're not going to be put boots on the ground, because that's not really necessary at this point. The Iranian regime have already fallen apart anyway. You tend to do that when you're struggling, so you're going to basically breach borders. But considering that the Israelis are controlling the capital with the Israeli fighter jets and everything else, and there's no army, what are you going to hit? So now it's about the whack-a-mole game. You're going to have to go and find them in the holes, in the bunkers, in the tunnels. And they're not even going to be in the main government buildings, because most of the government buildings have already collapsed. So it's crazy. I love how everybody thought that the Iranian regime will be very, very difficult to defeat. A lot of people said that, well, if you attack them immediately, there's going to be it's going to be World War III. Obviously, Russia said we're not going to get involved, and China is basically supporting Iran, but they're only behind closed doors, not publicly. China is saying we need de-escalation. That would be nice. So we're not going to have World War III. And of course, the Iranian regime turns out to be a paper tiger instead of actually a real tiger. And now there is more reaction. There is an imminent update, as we can now confirm that the IDF have also just managed to hit the radio sites. So this is actually important because of the communication between the Iranian regime members. Let's give you guys this update. So they have now targeted Iran's national radio station. This facility is of course part of the main the Islamic Republic broadcasting system, responsible for running the state radio station and obviously pushing official messages and their wartime alerts and everything else. This is also the backup communication hub for the IRGC when things collapse. So they've already hit this now, and we are waiting for videos coming from this site. This basically makes it even harder for the remaining members of the IRGC in Iran to be able to communicate with each other. This was supposed to be their backup plan. There's also more update coming in terms of the oil situation in the capital. We've just received this update, which we have verified. Yeah, it's now confirmed that the top oil CEOs are now sounding the alarm after 3 or 4 days of this escalation. They're all panicking. They're in crisis mode. You got Shell saying that the last 96 hours have been concerning. Total Energies have said that if the oil installations are hit, it's a global hazard, and because they're going to lose money, of course. Enquest says 2025 is the year of volatility, and many others are also concerned about the Strait of Hormuz. There has been some escalation, by the way, in the Persian Gulf when it comes to some of the vessels. A couple of them were set on fire. This is the Americans are very concerned about this because they believe that the IRGC are causing chaos in the Persian Gulf, which will get retaliation from the United States. We've also just received another video from the Israeli Air Force just now. Let me show you. This is they are taking out more of the Islamic Republic's air defense systems. So what they've been focusing on last night was taking out more air defense systems, but also the launch pads. So let me just quickly show you. This is what the IAF were doing, dropping guided bombs on the this is actually the missile site. This is the surface to air missile sites, destroying one of the M192 launchers, which again were going to be used to attack Israel. More attacks are coming towards Israel from the Islamic Republic. These are the people who are now hiding in mountains and tunnels. They come out in the western parts of Iran, close to Iraq, and they are launching these missiles towards Israel. Again, the Iron Dome is very, very busy, let's just say. Well, it's been overwhelmed over the last couple of days in general. We have now reached the 999,000 subscribers. Ladies and gentlemen, only 1,000 subscribers to go to reach 1 million. I did promise if we reach 1 million subscribers before Ali Khamenei is gone, well, I'm going to lose that wager because I'm going to have to give you guys a present. Okay, let's get some reaction. We're getting more updates, by the way. Nearly 1 million subscribers. Woohoo! I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for that. You'll have 1 million subscribers by the end of this live stream. I don't know about that, but we can hope. MT says, I saw a video of a pretty big anti-regime protest this morning. That's Women, Life, Freedom, Make Iran Great Again. It's probably best for the Iranian people not to come out now because obviously the strike is still happening. The IDF advised them for now, stay away, stay safe. Once that's over, people can come out on the streets and take control. Let's have a look. That's yeah, okay. We're just getting some confirmation about the Israeli Air Force operation hitting more launch pads, missile launch pads. Pakistan general became a field marshal for deserting. Yeah, they get promotion when they fail. Now, oh my God, what is going on here? Okay, see, I click on WhatsApp. WhatsApp notifications on a computer when I'm doing live stream is very distracting. Okay. I accidentally click on them. Anyway, 2CTV is an IRGC and Mossad PSYOP agent. I can multitask. I've been accused of being an agent for obviously Mossad, but at the same time IRGC